let's crack on.
Greetings, I'm Chappers.
And I'm the captain.
We're in Andertons in Guildford in England.
And we certainly
Stand
are.
by.
And I think we are probably about to conclude the mini-series of videos that we've done about the Gibson 2016 range. I think.
Wow, you know what? I saw a comment in the comment section below my hand at some point earlier, 3 days ago, when someone said, when are you going to finish?
Yeah.
When am I going to be able to force out of Lee's hand the plectrum with my mind force? And when are you going to finish the Gibson series?
So
this is it.
I'm sure we've missed some models, but I think we've kind of done enough to cover pretty much everything. So we're now down into what we call the Tribute series. So the Tribute series is pretty much the most affordable way that you can pick up a sort of a decent full body fatness USA made Gibson Les Paul from the 2016 range. There is a model below this called the CM, which is like a super cut down, even thinner version. But if you want full fatness goodness, this is where it's at. Now,
Can you say full fatness goodness again?
full fatness goodness.
Full fatness goodness.
Full fatness goodness.
Again.
So what I've done is there is and again, have some fun in the comments section below here. There is a 50s version of the Tribute with humbuckers and a 60s version of the Tribute with P90s, despite the fact that, strictly speaking, the P90s were kind of mostly there in the 50s and kind of, anyway, and although humbuckers came in kind of 57, but 57, but whatever. That's what Gibson have decided to do. The main kind of difference between the 50s, no, let me get this right, the 60s and the 50s is the pickups and a slightly chunkier neck on the 50s model. So we'll have a swap around. There's bags of different colours, which I'm sure Rory will put on the screen.
I love this colour.
That's Honeyburst.
Yeah,
this is Vintage Sunburst. There's a couple of other colours. And, as of course is the cool thing in the 2016 lineup, is every model is available in a traditional spec, a la Rob's guitar, or a high performance spec,
Cyborg high performance crazy robot spec.
my guitar, which we'll go into some close-ups and stuff.
Look at that neck
in a bit.
join.
Yeah. Money-wise, just so that you know, this is £7.49 English pounds for either a 50s or a 60s. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what colour you buy.
That's less than £1,000
Trad
for an
spec.
American Gibson.
Yeah, or £9.49 for a high-performance one with all of the extra stuff that I'll tell you about in a minute. Both come with nice gig bags. High-performance one comes with a slightly more deluxe bag than the traditional spec one, but they're both good bags.
So my little baby's got the traditional pick scratchy plate,
Yes.
P90s, mahogany body and neck. It's got the maple top.
Yeah.
It's got these little top hat kind of slippery, let's make a tone and sound things. Tulip, standard Gibson tuning pegs. It comes with a number. This one is 160017535. And it's made in America.
Yeah.
And it sounds phenomenally tasty and juicy with all of its juice and taste, as you will immediately recognize. And what really surprised me was the lack of a lot of hum.
Yeah.
I was really
thought there'd
expecting
be
a
more.
lot more hum. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're just standard vintage P90s. Obviously, we've plugged into Marshalls because, you know, what goes better together than a Gibson and a Marshall? It's like bread and butter, or peanut butter and jam, or
Pizza with mayonnaise.
or butter,
With mayonnaise.
or some models and jam, or
Top hat and
titanium, or the European Union,
and
peanut butter and
tree wood with mayonnaise.
or Gibson.
And diddly widdlies. Widdly. Hands up who put, or comment and like if you put baked beans on your pizza. I did.
Anywho,
I love that we waited for a response.
So my guitar, which I've plugged into the same amplifier, just into a 412, and we've done a review of these Jubilee amplifiers.
They're really, really good.
Really great amplifiers.
Really
so, of course, what do I get on when you go high performance? You get, from head to toe, we get Gibson's G-Force tuning system, which means that with the press of a button, I am always in tune. And I think we've all decided now that the latest version of G-Force is really rather good. It does work. I have a titanium adjustable nut. I have a very slightly wider fretboard than the traditional Spec. It's about 1 millimeter wider, just designed to give you that slightly more modern feel. I've got an upgraded three-way toggle switch, which certainly does feel a bit chunkier than the traditional one. Different knobs, again, sort of less vintage looking, I guess, knobs.
And I'm guessing your scratch plate pulls off.
Uh-oh. Yes, it does. I thought, am I going to break this? But yes, Rob is completely correct.
It's the make it look better move.
It's the you have an option on a high performance guitar. I like the scratch plate on. I've always been a scratch plate fan, so I'll just click that back in there. He says.
I'd like you all to divide into two separate teams: a pro scratch plate team and an anti-scratch plate team, and I will form the leadership of the anti-scratch plate team.
And I shall form the leadership of the pro scratch plate team. So I say vote, stay scratch plate.
Forever we will wage war and cleft in twain the evil clan of scratch platers.
I'm sure that this is a far more significant vote than the UK leaving the European Union.
Yeah, actually, if the UK could not leave the European Union, my wife can stay at my house. That would be great.
She's your wife now, so she can stay anyway.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah, you're fine.
Well, but
anyway, who cares about the European Union?
Well,
the real debate is, should you have scratch plates on a Les Paul?
Clearly not. I win. Thank you.
So now, of course, I have humbuckers on this guitar, which if you buy the 50s tribute, regardless of whether you buy high performance or trad spec, you will get a 490 and a 498. You know, so like real kind of classic Gibson humbuckers, and they sound like this. So I've got a crunched clean sound, which with full volume.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
That's really not a crunched clean sound, is it?
That's great sound, though.
This is the clean channel of the amp. Sounds amazing. So with a bit of volume backed off. With all the volume in. Tone rolled off. Back pickup. Oh. Who needs pedals when your guitar and amp does all this? Anyway, great sound. Bit too much reverb here. I have a pedal through the loop on the amp, but they sound great.
Should we have a little swap over then?
Yeah, I think we were gonna swap just purely and simply. Oh, did I show? No, and of course, sorry. Last thing, close up here. It's a shame because it's a black.
Yeah, you're not going to see it.
It's always hard to see that. Oh, I get it just in the light.
It's almost entirely frictionless.
Okay, so this has the neck joint now, as do all the high performance models in the range. From the Les Paul Access, which means that it's still a glued in neck joint, same as a regular one, but it's just had the heel and everything all seamlessly carved away. If you flip your model around, Rob.
Can you see that?
Yeah, so you can see you've got the completely normal traditional.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's swap guitars and see what happens.
Well, I think this is way more your style.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit of a sucker for sort of P90s and a narrow fretboard. You, on the other hand, love your humbuckers and a slightly wider fretboard. And that's what's great about the 2016 range. And
this is just immediately a better guitar for me.
See, the 2015 range, despite the fact that there was some interesting guitars in the range, because there was a lack of choice over whether you wanted a traditional or a high performance spec, people kind of rebelled against it. Now that there's a choice, people are kind of quite happy to just check it out.
Yeah,
of course, you don't need a tuner, Rob.
Oh, what am I doing? Why am I tuning?
What are you doing?
Why would I bother?
You just need to turn it on, don't you? And
that's what she said.
There you are. You can't have been far off of tune. Beautiful.
Spot on.
just say there must be about half as much gain coming out of this guitar as this guitar. Still gainy, but I think I'm going to go over to my lead channel just to enable me to just get some more searing gain sounds.
To know about Gibson.
It's very, very difficult to buy a Gibson guitar, plug it into a Marshall amplifier and sound It really is. In fact, if you do, then you're the problem, not the guitar or the amplifier.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You got excited, didn't you?
There's just.
You played better on that guitar too.
Well, I don't know about better. The action on this guitar is just a smidgen higher, which means I'm quite happy to sort of dig in and do those kind of big vibratos and stuff. But £749, you know, with a gig bag, it's really, really difficult to sort of go. It's
a temptational wooden beast.
I mean, this is what you don't get on this guitar. You don't get a gloss finish. There's no lacquer on here, which means that the guitar is not gonna necessarily age in the same way as a gloss lacquered one. You know, you are going to find that constant rubbing like that's going to quite quickly make the finish go a bit shiny.
More importantly, for Team Anti-Scratch, you have to have a scratch plate on that one.
Scratching the guitar is going to be a bit easier, and if you do scratch it, you can't then just sort of polish it out.
We like.
There's no there's no binding, so it doesn't quite have that finished.
There's no binding here either.
No, that's because you have to go the next model up. You have to go to these studio models to get binding.
Yeah.
You know, but it's got all the basic DNA that a Les Paul kind of needs.
It's made of tree wood.
I haven't used any pedals. Just this is it, made of tree wood. Yeah, it's the plain maple top. So again, if you're a fan of, you know, if when you envisage a Les Paul, you see lots of flame over it. Again, you won't get that on unless you go up to one of the models that uses a piece of flame.
Should we get them a really quick photograph for the cover of this particular video for the fun?
Which one?
Let's give them space. You just keep it about there. That's it. And then they can put like.
So we do a mean face, like.
Yeah. Spot on, mate.
That was my mean
Spot
face.
on. That was very mean. You can't sit with us.
I don't know what there is. You know, as I said, I'd be very, very happy to sling one of these on and just, you know, rock the proverbial out of it.
Yeah, man. And I honestly, this would suit me down at the ground.
You're into the. I mean, it's an interesting one because you bought your Les Paul Standard before. Of the 26 range before they really kind of announced the high performance version. So yeah, I wonder if you could, you know, go back in time.
I don't know. All I know is that the G-Force works, and it's like having a tuning pedal, but it's always on your guitar rather than on the floor. Is it almost
like every feature of high performance you prefer, and then G-Force is like you still go, oh, I just don't know.
I don't know whether it's that. I think it's more to do with the fact that I prefer the feel.
Yeah.
For me, if I'm buying a guitar, does it feel great?
Yeah.
If it does, and it sounds good, and I think it looks cool, I want to buy it. You know, and G-Force,
that's what I mean.
You don't even notice it.
Do you find the slightly wider fretboard of high performance easier than that's what I'm saying? Because your
I
guitar's
prefer
got
the
narrower
I prefer a wider neck. Yeah.
So you might revisit.
Because you can't do widdly diddly widdlies with mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Well, I find it harder on a skinnier neck sometimes. You know. But there you go. That's the way it is. That's why guitars are great. People have different points of view. None of them are valid apart from mine.
What is not to like? So there you go. That I think. I mean, if we've missed anything, tell us in the comments section below. I know we haven't done like the tribute SGs, for example, but that's kind of the same
Is there a
vibe as
Firebird?
this. Oh yeah, we
haven't done the Firebird, man.
I lied. We have not concluded our 2016
Bring in the Firebird!
video range. So that will happen at some point.
Yes.
Anyway, so there we are.
Well, I've been Rob.
And I've been the captain.
Take it easy.
Rock and roll.